Hi! Welcome. I'm going to check the sound real quick and then we will get started with our meditation. Welcome, if anyone's coming in. There it is. See if I can get the sound going. Sound good? Here we go. Sound good? Perfect. All right, so we will get started. Sound good? Now I have to turn the sound off. All right, so we will get started. Let me turn the sound off. Sorry, whoever's here. Now I have to turn the sound off. All right. There we go. All right. Let's add blur. No. There we go. Okay, so welcome everybody. We're going to get started with a little meditation and then we're going to talk more about the 4 conditions that we've been going over this month. Good. So sound is completely working. Hopefully I can see the chat room. I don't see it, so sorry if you are chatting. Maybe it will start to show up though. We will see. So thanks for being here. I hope everyone's having a great day. We're going to get going by getting in a comfortable posture. So you can come into a seated posture. Maybe if you can rest along on your back. Go for it. And once you've got those itches, wiggles, adjustments out of your system, go ahead, take a breath in through your nose. Sigh the air out the mouth. And close your eyes. Begin to sense yourself breathing naturally. Feel the breath in your body. And start to slow down your breath. Taking slower and deeper breaths. And take your time with this. Continue to breathe slowly and gently. And you're going to gently bring your awareness to points on your body that I list. There's no need to move these points on your body. Just breathe and feel into any sensations, anything you might feel at these points. Let's begin. Breathing deep. Bring your awareness to the inside of your mouth. Just feel and breathe there. Bring your awareness to your right shoulder. Your left shoulder. The center of your throat. Your forehead. And feel all of these points, the inside of your mouth, the right shoulder, the left shoulder, the center of your throat, and your forehead. Just visualize these points. You might see a glowing sensation there, a point of light. Just breathe into all of those points right now. Take another minute here to just be breathing and feeling. Please remain still with your eyes closed. Smile and thank yourself for taking the short time to just take a break out of your day to rest. Make sure to take your time to slowly come out of your meditation. Let the light back into your eyes. And thank you for joining me for that meditation. We're going to talk just for a couple minutes about the fourth condition. We've made it to our fourth condition, which is posture and stillness. So it's really stillness, but to me that has to do with our posture. And in order to be still, we want to be in the most comfortable posture possible. So we discussed temperature, wanting that just right temperature when we meditate, having low lighting when we meditate, maybe using an eye pillow, and silence, quiet. We want a quiet atmosphere. And now we're talking about our posture. We want to be in the most comfortable posture in our body so that we can support our meditation and go deeper. Again, we're not able to control all of these conditions, but when we can, we do it because it's much more satisfying and we're able to relax more and get the benefits from our meditation. So, talking about comfort when we meditate. Everyone has their own way they like to meditate. Some people like to meditate seated. Some people, like me, like to meditate reclined or in a shavasana position, like at the end of a yoga class, or if you're sleeping on your back. Others like to meditate standing up. Some like to meditate in a chair. Everybody has their own way, and it's whatever way works for you. So you might have to experiment if you're new to meditation to find that just right, comfortable posture. So there's another element you can add to that, which are props to your posture. So if you like to meditate seated, and sometimes I end up meditating seated, like in my car or in a yoga class. So you can use a folded blanket or a pillow to sit on to support your seat. And what this does is it helps lift up your spine so you can breathe fuller and deeper. It helps bring your focus more inward so you don't have to worry about keeping that nice posture. Another way you can do it seated is using some yoga blocks. You could sit on a yoga block, cross-legged, or however you want to sit. Another way, and you won't be able to see my head, but is you can stack 2 yoga blocks or just one, and you can come into a hero's pose. It's kind of a nice quad stretch here too. And you can sit up like this, and this just feels so nice. My spine feels very tall there, and I like to meditate, and you can do something like bring your hands here. And if you're pretty tight, you'll want to use 2 blocks for that one. So there's lots of things you can do with props and blocks. And I don't meditate seated all that often, so if you guys have any recommendations for when you sit and meditate, what you use for props, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'd appreciate that because I'm always looking for new ways to make seated meditation more comfortable. Amy, you're here. So I just saw you left a comment. All right, so we have a question. Do your toes or feet ever fall asleep when seated? Sometimes they do. And I think, but not when I'm meditating, because I sit like this at my computer. I sit on the floor cross-legged, and my toes and feet will fall asleep. And pretty much that's just because I'm not moving. So I wonder, Amy, if maybe you used something to support your feet. Maybe even just bringing a blanket between your knees or the calves to give a little bit more support. Also, switching the cross of your legs is sometimes a nice way to get out of that if your foot falls asleep or doesn't feel so great. I would try using some props though. That might work. Yeah, I think putting a pillow, and it doesn't have to be this fancy blanket. I'm a yoga teacher, so I have all these props and blankets. It's what I do. But you don't need these fancy blankets, or you can see here, this is a boho blanket, the Mexican blankets that you can use, and they're pretty expensive. Well, they're $25, so they're an investment. They're worth it. You can keep one in your car and everywhere. But you can use a towel or just any other old blanket you have, or just grab a pillow. And you have a zafu. Oh, you do, because I'm thinking about doing a zafu meditation, actually. Would you be interested in that? And a yoga practice for the zafu. Those are the prickly things, right, that you stand on or you can lay on? Because I've been thinking about doing a meditation for that. I think that would be really fun. And now that I know you have one, that'd be even more fun. I love it. Yes. All right, cool. So zafu meditation coming very soon. So now we'll talk about, and feel free to ask more questions if you want. We're going to talk about when you're resting on your back. There are a few things you can do, or a few things that I do, and I'll share them with you. And they're the most basic ones. You can place a blanket behind your head. When you rest on your back, you want to make sure, and you'll notice this a lot if you have a tight neck or something, you want to make sure your chin's not up all the way. You want to have your chin lower than your forehead. So I'll do a better example. Maybe you can see me laying down. So a lot of people, they'll lay down on their back and they'll lift, their chin will be up. And see how my chin's higher than my forehead? You don't want that. So you're going to want to drop the chin down. And you can even double fold up the blanket. That helps to bring the neck in a nice long alignment. I know for me that was a huge issue. So that's what the blanket helps to do. Also, this place called the occiput at the back of your head, it activates your relaxation response. So just by placing something right here, you're going to be able to get in that more relaxed state even faster. It just feels really nice. Also, supporting the lower back, you can place something underneath your lower back. You can use a yoga bolster, another kind of investment, but you could use 2 pillows and make a bolster yourself. And you can put this under your knees, and you can put them underneath your ankles with your heels hanging off. So, and I'll do another tutorial on this because there's so much I can say about it. So this would be under your knees. And then you'd also have a second one. I'll just use this other bolster. Under your ankles with your heels dangling off. And you want this bolster right here under the knees. not so much the upper thighs. You want to support the joints. So if you think about it, if you forget all of this, just think, I want to support the joints. So you could also do a blanket or a pillow underneath your wrists as well. And if you have lower back stuff, you can place a blanket under your lower back. I have neck stuff, so I always place something under my head, and it's so much better. So if you're into all this stuff and want to know more about restorative yoga, I'm going to post my restorative yoga meditations that require props. And again, you can use a blanket or a towel or a pillow instead. But you should check out a restorative yoga class. I really recommend it. Most yoga studios let you have the first class for free, or it's like $20 for a 1-week pass. And take a restorative yoga class and you'll learn a lot more about how to use these props. You'll find out what props you liked, so you know which ones you want to buy, because not everyone's going to like certain props or use certain props. I don't use a lot of yoga blocks when I meditate, but other people really love them. There's in fact a really cool restorative yoga pose where you're like laying on blocks supporting you. It's pretty cool. So that's about that. Check out a restorative yoga class. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to hit. If you guys use any other props, let me know what you use. I would love to check that out. Yoga bolsters you can find on Amazon. But start with pillows. Find out if you really like yoga bolsters first. Yeah, so leave a comment if you meditate in any other posture. What's your most relaxing meditation posture? If you have any questions, leave them below. A back cushion. Nice. Is that for when you're seated? So Amy's saying that she uses a back cushion. That's cool. I sometimes use one if I'm in my car meditating, not while I'm driving, but if I'm parked in that sort of meditation situation. Yeah, a back cushion. Yeah, so like some lumbar support. So when you're seated, yeah, I need to know more about those seated props and what people use. So Amy, you like to meditate seated. That's good to know. Up against a wall, totally. You can do something up against a wall. And this is nice too because it supports your back. I've also seen some yoga teachers place like a block behind their back like this for like that lumbar support. You could probably even do 2, which is interesting. I feel like I kind of have to work for it though. I think 1's better than 2. But I can see how that helps open up the chest. And Amy, you're saying that you fall asleep. Yeah. So I'm a natural belly sleeper, working on being a side sleeper. So being on my back is actually so uncomfortable, or it was uncomfortable for me, but now it's super comfortable. It took a few years to get used to it. It helps my posture. Yeah, and seated, finding those postures against the wall, totally. So everyone has their own. We're not all going to like the same position to meditate in, and I don't think you should feel like you have to sit and meditate or you have to be laying on your back to meditate. I think you should do whatever works for you. I know a lot of people are very like, you need to sit and meditate, and I think that's just so wrong. So do what works for you. Don't listen to anybody else. Do what's most comfortable for you, especially in this case. So I'm going to sign off. Amy, thank you for being here. Thanks for some people stopped by, so thank you for being here. I'll be back next week. We've got a lot of body scan meditations coming up they're shorter ones as I'm working on some longer meditations for the end of June and July. And I'm definitely going to do a Zafu meditation. But let me grab my Zafu and make sure that we're talking about the same thing, Amy, when I make the meditation. Is this what you're talking about? Hopefully it is what you're talking about. You might be talking about a cushion though. Whatever it is, I'm going to look it up and we'll do a meditation on it. So this is something in the future we'll talk about. You're going to see what Amy says. Not sure if that was the right thing. Yes. Oh, it's yours is a cushion. It's not this prickly thing. I think I know what you're talking about now. It's more of like a cushion that supports your seat. Okay, got it. So I'll look that up and we'll do a Zufu meditation. See how I got it confused though? Because this is Sufu. This is really weird. That's for another day though. All right, thanks Amy. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks everyone. Make sure to thumbs up, subscribe, check out any of these meditations. Leave me comments with suggestions. You know I'm into any kind of random meditation. Wow, it's already been 20 minutes. So I'm gonna sign off. Thank you so much and peace out. Look for things you love and namaste.